Hey everyone, this is Jerry Fleming with Serra Divino. We're doing wine number 55 today. It's going to be Leo de la Gaffeliere 2014 Bordeaux wine. So I'm just basically trying to try as many wines as I can, limited time I have. I don't think I'm going to make the 100 bottles goal that I originally set for myself. It's probably more going to be like 70, 75, something around there. But it has been a great trip. I just want to tell everyone I really support you guys, like supporting me, and I hope I can someday repay you all back. You've been a great team to work with. So, before I go on, I have to always remind you, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any of those platforms. We have videos, we have photos, we have different adventures we going on. I really appreciate if you guys want to tell your friends, follow, show them any videos. If they're wine connoisseurs, have them take a look at it. And if I'm messing up or something like that, please let them know that I am messing up, or let me know that I can improve. I'm only human. So for wine number 55, it is a red Bordeaux wine, 2014, like I just said. Gonna give it a nice pour. And already, as I pour it, I could tell that it is extremely light in color. So not expecting this to be a very heavy wine. It's just very light around the edges. For being a 2014 as well, I was expecting to be darker. 2014 was a great year for wine in the Iberian Peninsula. Pretty much all the 2014s I have been tasting have been absolutely phenomenal. I love each one of them. They have a great flavor, very vibrant with flavors, but they don't contradict each other. They're very good blends of different types of subtle notes. So for this one, already I can tell it actually has a good amount of sugar on there. There's pretty globbed up there and dripping really slowly on there. So definitely a decent amount of sugar in here actually. It's looking pretty close. Alright, so around the edges, if you can see, right there, it's kind of hard with this glare, but yeah, you can tell it's a little purplish tint on there, kind of like a ruby purple, a very light, almost pinkish purple, I would say. And if you want to take a look again, we have the legs dripping down there. I'm not sure what you're going to be able to see with that one, unfortunately, but yeah, this is really actually smells pretty pleasant. Ooh, there's definitely, wow, I should open up just a little sooner. I think it needs to open up and oxygenate a little bit more. But as usual, I always like to give a shout out to Venturi. Thank you so much for filtering out all the tannins, sulfites, and all the other bad stuff that we don't need in our wines. It's been helping me survive the hangover for quite some time now. I think this is day 40 or something like that in my tour. So I really have been hitting it really hard with the wines. Unfortunately, I ran into a little bit of trouble over the past week and had to take a break from all of the wine tastings and all that. So here I am trying wine number 55, finally back at it. I only got a few days left, so let's do it.
Yo, hey stupid foot, how you doing?
Oh yeah, and I'm staying at Hostel 20. It's in Bordeaux. It's absolutely great hostel. If you ever have to stay at a hostel, I suggest you book this one in advance. It is filled up every night from my knowledge. Been staying here for nearly a month and I still love it. So, on to the wine tasting now. Sorry for all the advertisements. I don't know, I'm getting a strange, I don't know, there's a green, flavor to it, like a green grass flavor almost. It's weird. In the bottle when I was smelling it, I got a strong vanilla or caramel flavor to it. It was absolutely delicious coming out of that bottle. Almost smelled like not quite as strong as a port, but just as sweet almost, I would say. Alrighty. Maybe some cherries. Yeah, some dark cherries in there, and then some dark cherries and caramel flavors. So it sounds absolutely delicious just from the smell I'm getting right here. So let's give it an old-fashioned taste. Ooh, that's light. That's very light for a Bordeaux wine. Usually, even Bordeaux's are a little softer, lighter flavor, but this one especially, it's extremely light. I gotta check the alcohol percentage. Oh, it's just average, very, very average, 13% alcohol on this. So it's actually very refreshing. I mean, it is chilled. If you can't tell, I chilled it because this Bordeaux heat is absolutely brutal. I think it's almost like 40 degrees like Celsius, which I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but that's hot. So it's absolutely great to go along with this hot day. So after this, I'm gonna cook up some bacon. Hopefully that'll go with it. I wouldn't suggest it though. I just like bacon. So for a pairing, I would definitely suggest I could actually see like a lot of the dark fruits going with this one. So blackberries, even blueberries, strawberries. Nothing too acidic though. I would never ever pair this with like any lemon tart or I don't know, key lime pie or a pineapple like cake or anything like that, like type of stuff. It's absolutely too strong for that. A good cheese, I might pair with this one. Let me see real quick. I can see this going with a Comte cheese or Grand Padano. It has like little salt bits and it's like Parmesan with salt bits. That is absolutely delicious. And then maybe for like a meat, definitely a lighter meat. Still, even like a chicken that's been baked, nothing like that's been marinated or too heavy. It's gonna sit too heavy in your stomach. You want it to all blend together, kind of. So, yeah, that's for the texture of this. Like I said, it's a little dry. It has definitely a dryness to it, but it's not like uncomfortably dry. I definitely need to have a like glass of water after this, just because I like to stay refreshed. But it's not so dry that it's unbearable, and there is a little bit of spice to this. I would say just a little bit, and the acidity is quite low. So low acidity, light spice, light sugar sweetness. It's not tart either. Has a slight little bit of tart, but like it's like a normal amount you'd expect from drinking. Ooh. Yeah, so as I get down, you get a little bit better view of what the color is actually. It is actually quite light, very, very purple. So, and even for being 2014, I think I already mentioned this, but it's quite light. I mean, I expect it to be a little older, or a little younger, just looking at the edges right here. Yeah, I think there's a little brown in here, and I do taste a little bit of oakiness, so that could be a signifier. But also, as you get to the edges and look at it, older wines typically are a little darker, leading up to on the meniscus part. So that's always a good telltale if someone's claiming that wine's super old or something like that. You can usually be able to call them out on the color on this. But on this one is absolutely interesting. It has like very light coloration going all the way up. I expected it to be darker. Oh, absolutely delicious though. So I don't really have a lot more to say on this. I think I've gone over the flavor profile pretty thoroughly. I want you guys to give me some questions and suggestions. So please give me some suggestions, and I'll try to do my best to fulfill every single one of them. So I always like to say thank you for following us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. If you're watching this, thank you so much. It's all about you guys. I love being able to relate to all of the wine drinkers out there that think it's intimidating. I just started barely a month ago tasting wines, and I have a pretty good knowledge of it now after traveling, but before I literally knew basically nothing. I was reading a book called Wine Book for Idiots, pretty much. So it's been absolutely like fun doing all this, and I always suggest just buy a bottle. If you're not sure, go buy the bottle. If you don't like it, you know what you don't like now. If you do like it, you know you can buy that one again, and you will be very, very pleasantly surprised at like how many bottles of wine are actually quite good for under what you pay. This one is about 6-7 euros. Absolutely delicious. So on to the next one, and I'll see you at Wine 56. Santè.